All right. Welcome back to Eyes Open Media. Okay, so yesterday we talked about selling hope to the black and colored communities for a long, long time. Today we want to talk. I want to talk about defending the free market and why countries like Iraq are refusing to or having a hard time returning to the free market where they actually benefit in a free market society. So first look. Here's the book, "Defending the Free Market," that I just picked out of Google search. Okay, it says the moral case for a free economy, and this looks like it's a reverend or something like that. So the Reverend Robert Sirico, president of the Action Institute. Okay, so I just picked it randomly out of Google Pictures. But anyways, I thought it was something that was interesting, defending the free market, and many people in America understand about defending the free market. Because there's something called globalism, globalist people. And they want to put an end to free markets, and they want to be ruled by either socialism. What's the other one? There's capitalism. No, not capitalism, but that is capitalism is basically the free market, right? So, but socialism, communism, and or of course the coming in the future new world order. Okay, so that's what they're fighting against. They're fighting against the fact that people can wake up and start a YouTube channel and become famous overnight. They're fighting against people, that can create an invention and maybe take 6 months to get a patent worked on, create it, and then start making millions of dollars instantly and become this type of force that can compete against the elites or compete against government leaders and things, and have this type of big influence. This is one of the reasons why, if you notice, when somebody becomes famous, they put them all over TV immediately. Like when Mark Zuckerberg created Facebook and Facebook started taking off, you saw what they did, right? They they put them all over in the media, social. They put, not social media, but they put them all over the media. And they started having interviews with him with all types of bigwigs, right? The biggest interview people. And why is that? Because they want to make sure that they control everything that's getting hot, everything that's, everybody that's becoming a billionaire or becoming a millionaire rapidly. They want to control you. They want to make sure that they watch everything you're doing, because you have the ability, as you're making money, like Mark Zuckerberg was making money so fast that they had to make sure that they watched them carefully. Okay, and this is one of the reasons why they put them all over television, right? Facebook. What is this Facebook thing? How does he live? Oh my God, he lives in a one or two bedroom apartment, and he's a nerd, and people, like, the people who work for him are just carefree and blah blah blah. Like, they study these people like rabbits. Why? Because they're so afraid that people in the free market and in this capital society will compete. First of all, will compete against them and then dominate them and take over. So anybody that's, you're gonna see it, you see it all the time. Anybody who makes something, Snapchat and all these other things, you know what I mean, all these things that are becoming booming and make people making billions of dollars off of it, 100 million. They watch them carefully, and they make sure that they initiate them into their secret societies and their Masonic societies immediately, because they cannot allow you to have this big following, and you turn on the government, or you turn on the elites, or you turn on the New World Order. So this is why Mark Zuckerberg and all these people had to meet with certain people immediately, because they cannot allow Mark Zuckerberg and all these other people to just be carefree and do what they want. No, 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 no. You must you must obey to us, or we will crush you. And that's basically what's going on around the world. People that come up, sometimes people will make $10 million quickly, and you'll never hear from them again. Why? Because they were told to either join the forces of the secret societies or go away because we're going to crush your business. So they walk away. The same thing in the music industry. When you see people make a hit record and you say, where are they at? You never hear from them ever again. It's because once they made the hit record and they were introduced to the industry, they said, oh, no, 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 no. I am not giving my soul away. I am not selling my soul. I'm not bowing down to no Baphomet. I'm not doing any of that crap. And so you never hear from them ever again. And sometimes when you see their story, they'll tell you, it was a bad business deal, or we didn't instead of telling you the truth, they'll tell you it was a bad business deal, or the record label was holding up the albums and stuff. And well, we know why they were holding up the album, because you hadn't taken the oath of Baphomet. we know, I think in 2017, most people know why albums are not released and people that have hit records are not being pushed forward. Is because they haven't taken the oath. Okay, they're not going to push you forward until you take the oath. Okay, so but that's what happens in a free market. So now let's look at Iraq, because Iraq's in the opposite position. Iraq is in a stranglehold market because they are on a program rate. Now we don't know if that's still the case, because they are saying that the rate in country is rising, and the dollar is falling in country. Okay, but let's just keep it, simple to the international world. They're on a program rate on the international world, right? So the international world sees Iraq on a program rate with restrictions, and so their country can't really do much. They can't do much because they are restricted from doing anything, okay? So, and the people don't have jobs. Okay, so when you hear, like, we did yesterday, we heard that from MP keywords, not a lot keyword, but MP keywords, and he talked about returning to a free market, and but he just didn't say returning to a free market. He said something key that I've been saying since I started the 365 channel. It was probably it was either the first or second video I made on that channel. It was a phone call I had with one of my ex co-workers, which is still a friend of mine today. And we were talking about how the private sector in Iraq has to be launched for us to see a change in value on the CBI side. Because what happens is the private sector is holding a value that we can't see in the international world, and also in Iraq, because Iraq's using the street rate for the IQD. The IQD is growing, but it's the street rate, right, against the dollar. And everything else is being hidden by the banks and the CBI. So we need them to launch the private sector, because the private sector has a rate and it has a value. Iraq's value is in the private sector, and so when Iraq is rising and they're building the private sector, they're building their banking reforms, they're signing contracts. The rate is gaining value in the private sector as they continue to sign different contracts. $100 million here, maybe a $10 billion swap over here, this and this and this and this. That value is rising in the private sector. Okay, so when they launch the private sector, guess what? It's no longer private. Okay, when they launch the private sector, that value that they have, that rate value they have, becomes public, and so it'll be shown in the CBI. Okay. This is why it was so important to not just hear MP keywords talk about the free economy that's coming for Iraq, but he also said, and the launch of the private sector. Because the private sector is what's going to give them the free market. Okay, the launch and activation of the private sector gives Iraq the free market with no restrictions. Okay, but why has it been taking this long? Well, it's the opposite, right? It's the opposite of what we're going through, but it's the same people. Okay, so it's the opposite system, but it's the same people. Okay, so in Iraq's situation, They have people that are stealing money from the country, and they were doing it through the currency auctions, and they're now doing it through oil and through the government, and now they're trying to do it through the budget. Okay, as a body stated, what are you guys trying to do here? You're trying to steal money that's allocated for the contractors, the farmers, and the citizens in the budget. And of course, they said, no, 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 no. How dare you say that? But if you just look at history, we know that Abadi's telling the truth about it, because all they have done is stole from the budget or from the allocation to the citizens, from the farmers. Okay, I missed. Let me go back. Okay, from the farmers and anybody else that has given them money. They've milked money from the IMF. They've milked the money from Obama. They've milked the money from America. They've milked the money from the United Nations. They've milked the money from the World Bank, and none of that money went to the farmers, went to the citizens, went to create jobs, went to a free market economy and getting Iraq back to where it needs to be. None of it. Okay, so and the reason why is because these people understand that if Iraq returns to a free market when removing the private sector, launching the private sector, they can no longer do the things that they're doing. They can no longer steal. They can no longer be corrupt, because everything is going to be watched now because they're on a global stage. Okay, just like here in America, you can't just do anything you want because everything is being watched, and you'll go to trial and you'll go to federal prison because we're on a global market. Well, Iraq's different right now. Iraq's not on the global stage, so a lot of these people have been stealing and being corrupted, and they've been given like a slap in the hand or a deal from the World Bank, the U.S. Treasury, the Federal Reserve, the United Nations, and the IMF. Okay, but here in America and UK and Europe, and China and things of that nature, you can't do that. You steal like they've been doing in Iraq, you're going to be in jail for 50 years to 100 years, right? In federal prison. But these people aren't in jail. Most of these people, and the people that stole, a lot of them fled the country and they're not coming back, or they went to the Kurdistan region, or they left the country and they went to Yemen or Kuwait or other countries, and they're going to be living there. They're going to transfer. They're going to have somebody transfer their money. So another corrupt person in GOI transfer their money to them in Yemen or in Dubai or in Kuwait or Saudi Arabia, wherever, or Iran or wherever else they're living. We can't do that in America. You know what I mean? Like we can't just be this corrupt and then just go and then just bounce. Like, it's not gonna happen, right? They'll stop you at the airport. I mean, my goodness gracious. So these people have been stealing for 10 years plus now, at least 10 years. So some of them are going to be caught when the free market economy comes for Iraq and Iraq's back on the international stage, and some of them won't. Some of them sign deals, and so they're safe, which is unbelievable to me, but it is what it is. So Iraq is headed towards the free market economy with the launch of the private sector, but there's so many people that do not want that to happen, and this is why it's taking so long for this investment to see the end of it. And also, these are the same people that are telling the troops not to move. Don't move, because you know what I mean, because we don't want you to complete that map, because you complete the map, then we already know that Iraq's going to return to the international stage. So there's a lot of corruption going on. A lot of people don't want the free market. And then over here in America, a lot of people are trying to get us out of the free market and into a new world order. So, and into a controlled, where, somebody is controlling everything we do, instead of people just waking up, creating things, and becoming rich on their own. They want it to be controlled, because they can't stand people just waking up and making it on their own. But yet they all that are in charge right now, they were able to have a free society where they were able to create things and make it on their own and become the people that they are now. But they don't want that for the rest of the world, because it brings competition, and maybe one day somebody will go after them, and they don't want that. So they're trying to control what we do here in America and in Europe and in Iraq. They don't want to lose the corruption to put Iraq back on the international stage. So it's two different battles going on, but I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I'll talk to you in a little bit. We're going to overview the map. Okay? Peace out.